Welcome back. We're in lesson 9, and since we're getting very close to the last few lessons of the quarterly, the things are getting a little bit more serious. We're not talking about symbols and types anymore, but we're getting into the reality of the Bible, the history in it. And today we're discussing a vision that Daniel had of a heavenly judgment. What are your first thoughts, Nick?
Well, talking about Daniel, there are lots of symbols and types here. But I know what you mean. We're getting into some hardcore Adventism here and in the next few lessons. Basically, this lesson studies the end of Daniel chapter 7, and it's about a vision for a judgment which results with the end of sin, the rebellion against God, and with justice being restored.
Scary. Justice being restored?
To be honest, this judgment thing brings some fear. None of us is perfect. If I'm to be judged on who I am and what I have done and so on, I'm a hopeless case. How many of you have struggled with nightmares about being judged or exposed? I think that this is the wrong angle to look at it though. This judgment is about clearing God's name. He was challenged and accused. It is also to demonstrate why after everyone on earth has sinned and deserves death, some will die and others will be pardoned. I see it more as a salvation judgment. I'm already condemned. How much worse can it get?
How interesting. God had a pattern of judging, the same in heaven and on earth, and it included a thorough pre-verdict investigation. Also, the judge had to hear some witnesses and probe their testimonies. It sounds fair to me, and I can't see it in a better way.
There are several books involved, or flash drives, however you want to call it. The Book of Life, Remembrance, Book of Deeds, God's Book. Evidence has to be investigated. The point is that it's not about finding a defect in the system or to bribe the judge or jury. It's about justice.
Let's also mention the time of this judgment. You might ask why. Because it might be directly linked with our reality and, more importantly, with what follows after. Daniel sees the judgment as occurring during the time of the horn power is still in existence. The horn's dominion is taken away only after the court sits in judgment. Who's the horn? What's the horn? Let's for now just say it's a power. It's a kingdom. So what we see here is a relationship, a link, a clear correlation between heaven and earth. What happens on earth is a sign of what's going to happen in heaven. And then what follows is that the events in heaven determine what is to be changed on earth. And this is surreal. The Bible doesn't get more contemporary and more engaging than this.
Do you need some special 5D glasses? We mentioned the fear earlier, but it sounds like David, the psalmist, is crazy, crying out, "Judge me, O Lord!" What?
Does how you feel about this judgment has any relation with how do you stand in the court?
I don't know. If my focus is on me, I will not stand well in court. But for David, it's more as a cry for salvation. Judge me, save me, O Lord. Aren't you sick of all this injustice?
We had our short points for this lesson. Join us next time when we tackle the eschatological Day of Atonement.